This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Senate Republicans are far short of the votes needed to pass a health care bill before the July 4th recess. The White House is putting a heavy push on the Republican senators who are still undecided. But the latest defections may mean the bill will not even make it to the floor. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest now from Washington.
I won't vote to proceed to it unless the bill changes.
Today, the Senate Republican health care bill seems to be on life support.
How you put all this together and get to 50 is going to be very tough, and the CBO score doesn't help any.
With Democrats united in opposition, the GOP can only afford to lose 2 votes. But today, 6 Republicans are on the record saying they cannot support this bill. And some Republicans are taking their opposition one step further, threatening to prevent it from even being debated on the Senate floor. Moderate Republican Susan Collins tweeting, "I want to work with my GOP and Dem colleagues to fix the flaws in ACA. CBO analysis shows Senate bill won't do it. I will vote no on MTP." MTP short for motion to proceed. It's a necessary step before the bill could even be considered. Democrats taking to the Capitol steps overnight in protest.
Well, I'll tell you right now. This craven, evil bill, it's not about going together. It's about leaving people behind.
The nonpartisan CBO score estimates 22 million more Americans will become uninsured over the next decade under this plan. 15 million more uninsured next year alone. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell plans to push through a vote this week.
So unless we act, more Americans will be left trapped, forced by Obamacare to buy insurance, but left without the means to actually do so.
And even though things look bad for the Republican bill at the moment, House Leader Paul Ryan cautions that no one should bet against McConnell, in his words. And Vice President Pence is hosting his own charm offensive for wavering GOP senators, inviting them over for dinner tonight. Reporting from Washington, Lana Zach, ABC News.
Also developing this afternoon, Google is being slapped with a major fine from the European Union. The internet giant is facing a $2.7 billion fine for breaching antitrust rules with its online shopping service. European regulators are accusing Google of abusing its market dominance and using its search results to unfairly steer customers to its own shopping platform.
Google has abused its market dominance in its search engine by promoting its own shopping comparison service in its search results and demoting its competitors. What Google has done is illegal under EU antitrust rules.
Google has 90 days to stop or face fines of up to 5% of the average daily worldwide turnover of parent company Alphabet. Here at home, a sigh of relief at Sarasota Police Headquarters recently as the force regained state accreditation. The department lost that designation 3 years ago. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us live from the police substation in Gillespie Park with details on this latest development. Ray?
Scott, the police chief used the word humbling when she described losing accreditation 3 years ago at the Sarasota Police Department. And that's why she was so proud this morning to bring out her top staff and share the good news. The department actually found out last week during a ceremony in Orlando, but this was the press conference to talk about it. The chief had just come on board about 5 years ago and says she realized the department she inherited for the first time in 12 years probably would not pass the 238 standards required.
We found that there were a number of the policies that were either not being followed or the information wasn't captured and contained into a file, which would make it mean that we wouldn't pass accreditation because we did not meet that standard. And we decided that it was best to withdraw, regroup ourselves, evaluate what the process was, and make sure that in the future that we didn't drop the ball.
And here's some video afterwards, the chief putting the first sticker that'll go on all the police cars showing the department is accredited. Of the 400 police agencies statewide, only about half have accreditation. In the Suncoast, only the Braden Police do not have accreditation anymore, but sources say they have since hired a accreditor to get the wheels in motion on that. Scott, back to you in the studio.
And Ray, does Sarasota Police now have someone who will handle this accreditation process?
They do now, but prior to 2014, that was a part-time position. But with 238 standards to fulfill, the chief believes it should be a full-time position, so they since hired somebody for about $60,000 plus a year. Back to you.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Let's get a check on our forecast now. You can see some sunny skies out there where Ray was in Gillespie Park in Sarasota. Pretty nice morning so far, John.
I think it's going to be very nice right along the coastline, and we're looking at pretty good weather, you know, a little bit of sunshine. Not much in the way of those cooling afternoon breezes, or cooling afternoon showers, which we would kind of like to see.
Yeah.
But we're developing a nice sea breeze, and that sea breeze is already starting to push some shower and thunderstorm activity into inland areas, and that will be continuing throughout the remainder of the afternoon, I think, carrying the showers into well inland locations. Van Wezel webcam shows all that sunshine that started off the day. Plenty of sun to go around to heat things up and get those showers and thunderstorms going. A few fair weather clouds moving in, but nothing that's going to bring too much in the way of rainfall near the coast. But look at inland already. The showers and thunderstorms starting to blossom under the plentiful amounts of moisture that is across the state of Florida. We'll talk about the rest of the rainfall chances over the upcoming holiday weekend and how things are going to change up just a little bit over the next 24 hours. Coming up in just a second, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. The search continues today for the person or people responsible for beating 2 gopher tortoises to death in Lakewood Ranch. They were found earlier this month on a trail between the Summerfield and Greenbrook developments near Adventure Park. One of the tortoises was already dead with its shell cracked. The other one was barely hanging on, lying in a pool of its own blood. That tortoise later died at Bayshore Animal Hospital. The Center for Biological Diversity added a $5,000 reward on top of the $2,200 already being offered by other groups.
We would really like to see justice for these tortoises, and we'd like to send the message that they're very important not only for our ecosystems but for our communities as well, and that we take it very seriously when someone does direct and purposeful harm to them.
I'm hoping that somebody will come forward and give the names of the person or persons that were involved, and I hope that they're prosecuted.
If you know anything about these gopher tortoise deaths, you're being asked to call authorities or Florida Fish and Wildlife with that information. Manatee Technical College's graduating class is ready for the workforce. These are photos from last night's ceremonies. The college graduating 318 students. More than 700 have graduated overall during the past school year. Out of last night's graduating class, 2 were awarded U.S. Presidential Volunteer Service Awards, and 5 placed first in the nation at the 2017 Skills USA National Championships. This is the college's 53rd graduating class since way back in 1964. Veterans here on the Suncoast are being treated to some new clothes. Goodwill, Minnesota hosting its Suits for Vets event. This is an opportunity for the community to donate any gently used business suits to help veterans transition from the military to the civilian workforce.
This has inspired me, for one, truly inspired me, but it's shown me a lot of resources that I did not know were out there.
If they come in and they're getting ready to reacclimate into the civilian world, most of them don't have suits to go on interviews. So not only are we helping them rewrite their resumes and doing job interview skills classes, but we're doing we write them a voucher to go to any one of our stores to get a suit.
Goodwill, Minnesota currently serves more than 500 veterans a year. To help in this effort, you can donate your business attire to Culver's on University Parkway in Sarasota right up until July 4th. Time now to get over to the kitchen where our guest today, chef and owner Eddie Izeri, joins us today from Apollonia Mediterranean Grill. Eddie, great to see you again. What's on the menu for today?
Hi, Scott. Today we'll be doing a perfect summer flatbread that we actually going to grill it.
Yeah, sounds interesting. It sounds delicious, too. We'll be back with you in a little bit. Thank you, Eddie.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
These are our heroes. They have sacrificed so much to serve our country. And now Granny Nannies is truly honored to serve them. We're here and we're ready to help. Call us today.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
one.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
At Granny Nannies, we provide your loved ones with the care they deserve, compassionate and experienced help right where you need it most, at home. Visit us at grannynannies.com.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we're looking at a pretty warm afternoon shaping up for us with 88 degrees the air temperature. It's actually only about 10 degrees warmer than it was in the pre-dawn hours this morning. So we started off the morning warm. And we have a pretty high dew point coming in at 74 degrees, meaning there's lots of moisture in the air to work with. Plenty of sunshine as well, peeking through the fair weather clouds that we had to start off the day. And a west wind has already developed. That's our sea breeze that's beginning to take place. Temperatures across the region, 84 degrees in Inglewood, 87 in Venice, 85 at Longboat Key. Inland temperatures a little bit warmer, 89 degrees in Arcadia, 88 Wauchula, 89 Mayaca, 89 Lakewood Ranch. Bradenton comes in at 91, Parrish at 89. A 77 degree temperature in Northport. Not too sure about that. It could be a possibility of some rain cooled air at that sensor, but I think that's a little bit on the cool side, actually. I suspect that reading. One of the things you can do with Doppler radar, actually, is take a look at wind speeds. Take a look at the wind directions. It's a cool thing about what you can do with Doppler radar. And today's setup is actually just almost classic Doppler interpretation. You can just rip this page right out of a textbook. Right along here where the reds turn to green, you can see the leading edge of the sea breeze front beginning to develop as the Doppler radar picks up the wind patterns. And right along that edge, well, that's exactly where you have your shower and thunderstorms building. That's classic, and that's exactly what we'll see for the rest of the afternoon. As those winds begin to develop and push those storms inland, further and further away from the coast, we'll see those showers and thunderstorms kind of populate inland areas and deposit the heaviest rains. Right now, it's pretty good. Thunder boomers moving in towards Sandy. Those showers and thunderstorms dropping a fair amount of rainfall, but the speeds are pretty good, too. As we head into the next couple of days, I think we're going to see this change up a little bit, and here's why. To the north of us, we have a line of showers kind of traced out by Doppler radar. That is actually the surface trough of low pressure. And while today the winds below that trough of low pressure are coming in out of the west this afternoon as the sea breeze develops, watch what happens with our future forecast of winds. As we head into tomorrow, those wind directions shift around to the east. Well, what does that mean? Well, with that easterly wind that develops, our sea breeze which build is going to be held very close to the coastline. So consequently, the warm, moist, humid air that we have below the front and the dry air above the front starts to develop a more easterly wind because of a high pressure ridge to the north, drawing down all this drier air just to the north of the front, starts to sink a little bit further south and produce a more easterly flow. So that's important because that'll take the heavy rainfall that I mentioned we'll get today as that sea breeze pushes those showers toward the other coast, and it'll switch it around so that our area gets the heavier rainfall. Here's another look at what's going on. The frontal boundary, located just to the north, kind of washes away as the high-pressure ridge responsible for the drier air continues to sink southward. As it sinks southward, our winds switch from a calm or westerly wind flow to a more southeasterly wind flow, keeping that sea breeze right along the coast. So that's a weather change that we can expect tomorrow. And with that weather change comes a much higher probability of rainfall near the coast. So today, while we have about a 40% chance of showers near the coast, maybe a few might actually move in from Gulf waters, a much better chance inland today. As we head into the next several days, we have much better chances for everyone as those showers build inland and drift back to the coast. That's important as it's a holiday weekend. Scott?
Thank you so much. New this afternoon, an important recall alert for a popular brand of infant car seats. Britax Child Safety is recalling more than 207,000 of its rear-facing infant car seats because of a choking hazard. The company says part of a clip could break. The parts were found in the mouths of at least 3 children. No choking injuries, though, were reported. The company has set up a website for owners to find out whether their seats are affected. In health news, all money is not clean money. Researchers are finding a number of hazards on the bills we carry, from pet DNA to traces of drugs, bacteria, and viruses that cause disease. One of the most common bugs being found in bills is a bacteria known to cause acne. Traces of cocaine, morphine, and heroin were also found in a lot of bills. To avoid contamination, doctors suggest washing your hands whenever possible and avoid sticking your hands in your mouth after touching money. There are few things more annoying than a bloody nose, and doctors say that old advice about tilting your head back to stop it may not be the best method after all. According to the Cleveland Clinic, the best way to stop a bloody nose is actually to lean forward and then close up the nostril that's bleeding. Tilting your head back can cause blood to drip down to the back of your throat, which can result in vomiting and stomach ache. A bloody nose can be brought on by a change in the weather or even genetics. Most stop after about 10 minutes, but if it does last longer than that, it is time to seek medical attention.
If a nose does not stop bleeding after about 30 minutes, that is truly a medical emergency, and you should consult your nearest doctor's office or physician for further intervention.
Also, a big no-no for stopping bloody noses is using petroleum jelly. Doctors do not recommend it because it just doesn't work. But what can work is putting a small amount of over-the-counter nasal decongestant spray on a cotton swab and then gently insert that into the nostril that is bleeding. Well, it seems the older you are, maybe the geekier your son will be. That's according to a study published in the Translational Psychiatry Journal. It found that being geeky is 57% inherited from the parents. The index rose with fathers who were older than 35 at the child's conception. Men with fathers who were older than 50 at conception were 32% more likely to score higher on exams in STEM subjects than the offspring of fathers who were under the age of 25. They also had the highest IQs. Now, geek is typically an umbrella term for people who tend to be socially awkward and overly intellectual. Coming up, a change at a local high school football program and a feud between 2 tennis greats. The comment that has Serena Williams firing back now at John McEnroe. The story coming up.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Drive off in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Get a new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. Or purchase a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope. and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
A change at the top of the Riverview High School football program. Head coach Todd Johnson has stepped down to pursue another career opportunity. He'll now be working with an orthopedic medical device company. Johnson spent 6 years as Rams head coach, leading the team to a district title last season, its first in 8 years. Former Cardinal Mooney head coach Josh Smithers will now take over as interim head coach. He has been on the Rams coaching staff for the past couple of seasons. Serena Williams has won 23 Grand Slam titles, putting her only one major away from snagging all-time leader Margaret Court's title. But another tennis great suggested she's only good for a woman. ABC's Paula Ferris has the story.
Overnight, Serena Williams serving up a fiery response to tennis great John McEnroe for these comments.
Let's talk about Serena Williams. You say she is the best female player in the world in the book.
Best female player ever, no question.
What qualify it?
If she played the men's circuit, she'd be like 700 in the world.
Williams tweeting at the former tennis star, "Dear John, I adore and respect you, but please, please keep me out of your statements that are not factually based. Respect me and my privacy as I'm trying to have a baby. Good day, sir." The tennis legend has long debated where she ranks among the tennis greats. Recently, in this sit-down interview with rapper-actor Common.
If I were a man, I would have 100% been considered the greatest ever long time ago.
But in 2013, Serena acknowledged that there are differences between men's and women's tennis, calling the games almost two separate sports.
The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game.
But the queen of the court has made a career smashing records, winning 23 Grand Slam titles. Just last January,
23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams
beating her sister Venus to win the Australian Open and set the Grand Slam titles record, all while she was approximately 8 weeks pregnant. And Nike recently naming her the greatest athlete ever.
Paula Ferris reporting there. McEnroe went on to say, in some sports, a woman can be better than anybody, but that he hasn't seen it yet. Russell Westbrook is the NBA's most valuable player. The Oklahoma City Thunder All-Star, averaging a triple-double last season, meaning he hit double figures in points, rebounds, and assists. He blossomed after Kevin Durant left the Thunder for Golden State last season. Westbrook gave an emotional thank you at last night's awards program and says he owes everything to his parents.
Can't say thank you enough. You guys sacrificed everything you've done in your life. Pops, OG. It's just so amazing. I couldn't be able to do none of this without you guys. You mean so much to me, man. You're my role model. You're my role model.
Other honorees included tributes to Monty Williams, Craig Sager, and Bill Russell. Florida Gators take the lead at the College World Series. Brady Singer struck out a career-high 12 LSU batters in 7 innings to lead the Gators over LSU in Game 1 of the best-of-3 final. Jonathan India doubled in 2 runs to help on offense. The Gators need a win Tuesday or Wednesday to earn their first national championship in baseball. Gators win the game 4-3, and Game 2 is set for tonight at 8 o'clock. Happening today here at home, the Baltimore Orioles are hosting a youth baseball clinic for young players on the Suncoast. Clinics are taking place at 2 area fields this week, including the Ed Smith Stadium practice fields. Orioles minor league players will give instruction on hitting, pitching, and fielding. More than 40 students from Oak Park School are taking part in today's clinic. Team planning more clinics later this week. Back to the kitchen now. John is with our good friend, chef and owner Eddie Izeri from Apollonia Mediterranean Grill. Guys.
Always a good time eating at Apollonia. Always a good time having Chef Eddie in the kitchen. And I am so glad that you are doing this for the folks today and showing them how to do it. Some of the best gatherings I've ever had at my house have revolved around doing little pizzas on the grill.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things you can do with what you're going to show us today, but I suppose you could also do it in an oven.
That's right. So, you know, obviously we couldn't have a grill here today, so I'm going to demonstrate how to do it in an oven. But this grilled flatbread is really amazing at the grill, mainly because most of the ovens, even my oven at home, doesn't get as hot as you want it to be for a pizza. So the grill outside could get up to 600, and some really expensive ones get up to 700 degrees. The hotter the oven, the better the pizza. So I put some flour on our board here because we are going to work on this board, and then we're going to transfer our pizza to our hot stone. So this is not necessarily grilling the pizza on a char grill, but you're going to set a stone on the char grill, cover it up, and that heat right there, it's going to get up to 600.
So we use an indirect heat. You don't use a direct flame.
Exactly. And then that stone gets really hot, so the reaction of dough into a hot stone creates this really nice aroma and flavor on the bread. So I'm stretching the dough here really quick. And just so I can speed it up a little bit, I got another one opened up for us here. You don't have to make a perfect shape. Whatever shape you want it circle
don't have to throw it up in the sky.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not required.
Simple. And let the gravity sort of, you know, help you stretch it to the desired thickness. I would say about 1/4 inch to about 3/8 of an inch. And then I got some crushed tomato sauce over here. You can find this at the store, at any store, or any simple tomato sauce is very good too. All right, and then summertime, you get some wonderful tomatoes, especially some heirloom tomatoes like these yellow ones that I picked. They're very beautiful, so I'm going to slice them up like that. And, you know, we're going to let the reds, you know, to come from the sauce. And we're going to get some yellows from our tomatoes, some green from the basil, white. And so it's turn out a beautiful pizza or flatbread.
Colorful.
So this is my take on the, you know, classic margarita pizza or flatbread. I've added a couple of my touches, if I could say. So we got those tomatoes, and we're going to start with the fresh mozzarella. I prefer fresh, but you can buy dehydrated mozzarella. That works pretty good as well, too. Don't overdo it on the cheese because mozzarella melts pretty quickly, and it will just cover and ooze out too much. So we want to do about just like that. And then we're going to sort of decorate it with our tomatoes all over the place, like that. And then we're going to season it with salt and pepper. So we're going to do some salt. And then some pepper, and then I really like garlic, so I'm going to add some garlic to it. So I have some chopped garlic that I chopped up earlier. So you could skip this if you're not a big fan of garlic. And then instead of just doing basil leaves, I'm doing a basil pesto that I've made at the restaurant. Yeah. So it's got a little bit of lemon juice as well in there, just to give it some more acidity beside the tomatoes.
About 30 seconds left.
Okay. So. And then once this is all set, you want to slide in that hot stone, and we're going to pretend that stone is on the char grill.
Okay.
And then don't hesitate or don't open it up. Leave it for about 10 to 12 minutes in there. That way you could get a really nice pizza.
And you pop that right on the grill.
Right on the grill.
Close the lid, leave the lid up. What do you do? Close the lid?
Close the lid and leave it there for about 10 minutes. Don't open it because you're going to get that heat escape. And there's our finished product right there.
Does that look good or what? And this is great for the kids too, right? Because they can decorate their own pizzas however they want. They
Absolutely.
Go right
you can do all kinds of ingredients and whatever you prefer and whatever you like.
Beautiful. Chef Eddie from Apollonia Grill. The recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link button. It'll take you right there with video instructions. Okay, say goodbye to that piece right there. It's gone. Thanks, Chef Eddie. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Topping our news this half hour, a late-night warning from the White House to Syria and the Assad regime about their potential use of chemical weapons. The White House now threatening Syria's president with serious consequences if he carries out another chemical attack on his own people. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
A late-night warning from the White House, accusing the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad of planning another chemical weapons attack on his own people. In a statement, quote, if, however, Mr. Assad conducts another mass murder attack using chemical weapons, he and his military will pay a heavy price. The statement came from White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, accusing Assad of preparing an attack similar to the one he carried out on April 4th. That one killed at least 70 people, including many children. The White House said that attack crossed a red line, and their response was swift, a U.S.-led missile strike on a Syrian airbase within 63 hours. ABC's military analyst Stephen Ganyard says this time we could see an even bigger strike.
If he doesn't believe that Assad's getting the message, he could expand the target set. It could include things like military headquarters, the presidential palace, or even Assad himself.
Syria has strongly denied the new U.S. allegations and that they were responsible for the earlier chemical attack. And Syria's key ally, Russia, calls the threats from the White House unacceptable. The UK's defense secretary says so far the U.S. hasn't shared any specific evidence of Syria planning a new chemical attack, but promised to back any American response.
The use of chemical weapons against innocent civilians is absolutely abhorrent. It's illegal under any rule of war.
And U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley tweeted that any future attacks on the people of Syria will not only be blamed on Assad, but also on those who support him, like Russia and Iran. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
The 7 U.S. Navy sailors who died off the coast of Japan are being remembered today. Navy personnel formed an honor line lining the streets as family and shipmates of the sailors were escorted to a memorial service. The sailors were on board the Navy destroyer USS Fitzgerald when a cargo ship rammed into it a week and a half ago off the coast of Japan. A Canadian soldier is making history by becoming the first female infantry officer ever to lead the iconic changing of the guard at London's Buckingham Palace. 24-year-old Megan Caudo and her unit are serving as the Queen's Guard in honor of Canada's 150th anniversary. She led about 40 soldiers in the ceremony yesterday. This role usually falls to the British Army's Household Division, which is part of the male-dominated Infantry Division. But this honor was given to Megan by her superior when he stepped aside.
I'm proud of Megan, but I'm not doing it for her to make history. I'm doing it because she's a good working soldier, a good officer, works hard, and she deserves it.
Canadian women have been allowed to serve in the infantry since the 1980s. The British Army says they're looking forward to opening up more roles for women in the Guard by the end of next year. Well, a shark got a little too close for comfort on a beach in Spain. Beachgoers capturing this video of a blue shark. It appears to be struggling to get back into deeper water. Lifeguards closed the beaches and officials from an aquarium were called to capture the shark. It turns out it was suffering from a serious head wound, apparently caused by a harpoon, and it was dying. Not clear whether the shark was injured before or after it was spotted near the beach. It's just an animal in distress, really. But you still see people in the water there. Moat Marine Lab hosting its annual Shark Days. This is a fun and interactive event for kids that gives them the opportunity to learn more about these animals. Activities are underway now and end at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but Shark Days will go until July 1st. Moat Marine, they know a thing or two about sharks, and it's a great place to go and learn all you can about those animals.
And I think every time you go and every time you talk to some of those people, they'll all tell you the same thing: stop fearing sharks,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they're very beneficial to our ecosystem, and we should protect them and give them their space.
Exactly. That's where they live.
That's where they live. That's where they live, and your chances of being hurt by a shark are pretty small.
Yeah.
Your chances of getting wet in the next couple of days are much higher, though. We have across the region today on our Casey Key webcam just a lot of sunshine and a few fair weather clouds. Some fair weather clouds beginning to build across the region as well. We had some showers earlier on out in Gulf waters, and some of the storms were pretty big around Lee County earlier on this morning. But in our neck of the woods, it's pretty standard stuff. Those showers have given way now to a couple of thunderstorms leading along the sea breeze front moving inland. I think the best chance for rainfall will certainly be east of the interstate this afternoon, and along the coastline I don't think we'll see a whole lot of activity as we progress through the afternoon. Maybe an isolated shower or two. Rain chance about 30%, much higher in inland areas. Now we're going to see a switch up in that coming over the next 24 hours, and coastal residents have a better chance of seeing rain. We'll talk about it in just a second. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. New this afternoon, relatives of a Louisiana man who was gunned down by a police officer are now suing over his death. The family of Alton Sterling planning to file a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Baton Rouge. They're claiming the shooting was brought on by racist behavior and excessive force by police. Last July, the father of 5 was shot by 2 officers outside of a grocery store. Video appeared to show the officers holding him down as they fired their weapons. No charges were filed against them. The family is also seeking a lawsuit against those officers, the police department, and police chief. It's terrifying moments for any parent to endure. A woman is angry with United Airlines after she says her baby overheated on a delayed flight. The woman says their flight was delayed at Denver International Airport. The outside temperatures were around 90 degrees at the time, and she says that there was hot air coming from the vents while waiting to take off, and that the longer they sat on the plane, the hotter her son got. Now, by then, the baby was drifting in and out of consciousness, and she thought he was going to, quote, die in her arms. Audio from the plane describes the incident.
We have an infant with shortness of breath. This is going to be a return to duty. We have an ambulance request for Bravo 61. Actually going to be on the aircraft.
Paramedics eventually arrived. The entire ordeal took about 2 hours. United Airlines releasing a statement saying they apologized to the mother directly and are looking into what happened, but the mother says she's sharing her story in hopes it doesn't happen to anyone else. The baby, by the way, has recovered. Through this afternoon, it's no secret kids spend too much time on electronic devices, but a principal has come up with a great challenge that's motivating them to put the devices down for a change. And it's one that she hopes will catch on with other educators. ABC's Jesse Palmer has the story.
Washington, D.C. school principal Diana Smith knows that devices and social media can wreak havoc on teens.
I really want the kids not mindlessly grabbing for the phone, but thinking about whether or not the phone is going to be their source of entertainment.
So she decided to find a way to motivate her students to disconnect from screens and plug into life with a challenge.
They go without any screens, devices, for the 11 Tuesdays of the summer. If they do that, I will give them $100.
Yep, you heard that right. Principal Smith has promised cold hard cash out of her own pocket to each 8th and 9th grader who can go 11 Tuesdays without a phone, a tablet, or a TV this summer. With 160 eligible students, that could be a $16,000 payout. One potential beneficiary, 14-year-old Nicholas, who normally spends 4 to 6 hours a day online, now says he's thinking strategies about how to stay off.
Giving my phone to my parents and making sure that I can't get to it.
And what he'll do with that tech-free time.
Read a book, ride my bike, go running, or exercise in a gym.
His mom, DeShanta, is thrilled about the challenge and is even planning to go tech-free on Tuesdays herself.
I think it's awesome that he will be able to look up and see what's going on around him, be present in the moment.
Principal Smith is hoping a new habit, once a week, may lead to something more.
I'm hoping that it will be disruptive enough to get them to think about, gee, maybe I liked who I was on Tuesday, and maybe I want to be like that on Wednesday and Thursday too.
Jesse Palmer reporting there. That's a great idea. As proof that the kids have kept to their screen-free Tuesday, Smith says she also has the kids submit letters from their parents signing off that they did indeed stay off those devices. When we come back, John will have another check on our forecast, and it was a popular destination for some of the most notorious characters in the 1920s, and it's right here on the Suncoast. That's next in a place we call home.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Current air temperature outside closing in on that 90 mark. We're at 88 right now. We'll probably get pretty close to that 90-degree level, although we have a west wind developing, and that should moderate the temperature a little bit right along the immediate coastline. Inland, the temperatures are getting pretty close to the 90 mark as well. But we've got some showers that are underway, moving inland at a pretty good clip. They started at around 11:30 or so, and they are gradually drifting into inland areas. Should leave the coast pretty quiet right straight through drive time, though there's slight chance of an isolated shower or two. Some of these storms are pretty good. We've got some lightning pops from some of them closing in now on Myakka Head, about half an hour before it starts moving into Myakka Head. And you've got some radar echoes that indicate some good rainfalls, 50 dBz or whatever from some of these cells, and that's definitely a pretty good rainfall rate, some fairly heavy rain moving in toward that area. But they're moving at a pretty good clip as well, about 25 miles per hour or so. So you won't get a lot of rain in one spot. Punta Gorda, you're about 5-10 minutes away downtown from seeing some pretty good rainfall moving in there as well. All of this gradually drifting inland. Over the next several days, our forecast will hinge on the position of that high-pressure ridge, and here's why. It will gradually start to sink south, and as it does so, this stalled frontal boundary, which we have been watching, will begin to fall apart. As it falls apart, this high-pressure ridge will bridge over it, and our winds will start to come out of the east. That's a 180-degree shift in our winds, completely different direction, coming in from an area that'll keep our sea breeze pretty close to the coastline. So today, the pattern's similar to yesterday. Most of the rain falling inland, some of the rain pretty heavy. An east wind will start to build as that high sinks south, and then we'll watch the weather pattern change tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms today that move toward the other coast. Tomorrow, those showers and thunderstorms that build, some of them will drift back toward our coastline. So everybody will get a chance of rain, not only inland residents, but the coast as well. And I think coverage will only go up as we head into the next several days. So as we head into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think we'll probably see about a 60% rain chance along the coastline. Taking a look at the tropics right straight through the weekend, things look pretty good here. Don't see any problems at all with the near Atlantic. Everything very quiet. There are some longer range models that show just off the corner of your screen there, that's Africa. Some perhaps waves coming off Africa might have a chance to develop, but that's a long way away and all the way across the waters. Locally in the Caribbean, there's nothing here that gives us much concern. Trade winds are pretty strong, and it's really kind of preventing any of these thunderstorms from talking to each other and developing. Northwest wind at about 10 knots today with that sea breeze pushing inland, 2-foot seas, light chop. Pretty decent day to be out on the waters, I'd say. You'll have a 2:54 high tide. We had a low tide at 9 o'clock this morning, so we're just about ready for the high tide. The only other tide left will be a low tide at 11:26. And the forecast for the week ahead looks kind of wet, actually. Actually, most of the day will be spent rain-free, to tell you the truth, but we'll have excellent rain chances in the late afternoon and early evening along the coast as inland showers drift toward Gulf waters. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. There's a remote and beautiful spot here on the Suncoast that seems hidden away from the world, but it was once reportedly the playground of gangsters, smugglers, and bootleggers. ABC 7's Linda Carson has a story in a place we call home.
Travel down a tree-canopied dirt road just off River Road to the Myakka River, and you've reached Snook Haven.
And it's just teeming with fish, and actually there were a lot of fish in here that they used to pull out. They had blue crabs, they had the tarpons, they had the snook, of course, and they would all congregate around the docks, and that's where the name of Snook Haven came from.
For centuries, native tribes walked these banks.
Around 1841, there was a man called William Whitaker, and he was the first man to bring a herd of cattle down to this region. He realized the potential for cattle raising because of the fertile soil.
When Prohibition came in the 1920s, Snook Haven became a popular spot.
It was used as a transport area. So the smugglers could come in here, and the bootleggers could come here, and then they could still take out their illegal wares.
There were wild parties here.
They had horse races on the banks, and they would take their horses through the tall bush and race them, and there was shooting going on, and they had lots of party girls, and they gambled and they drank.
A Chicago man rumored to be a Polish gangster arrived.
He built the lodge and the 5 cabins, and the 5 cabins were for his buddies and the women of the night.
It also attracted Hollywood.
There was a movie made here called Prestige, and it starred Anne Harding, and I believe that was in 1931. And the scenes from were filmed inside the main cabin there.
There are rumors that jungle movies were made here, bringing in and leaving behind monkeys and killer turtles. There's no proof of that, but there are a lot of alligators. But when Prohibition ended, Snook Haven was abandoned until 1948, when Frank Coville and his wife bought it.
They decided to open up a fish camp instead of a fish resort, so it was the first time it was public access.
The cabins rented for $15 a night or $40 a month.
2006, the county bought it and turned it into what it is today.
And today there's a restaurant with good food and drink, kayaking, canoeing, and fishing, and there's lots of live entertainment and community celebrations.
Snook Haven, an important part of our history and a great place to visit today. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Linda, thank you so much. Alec Baldwin is looking to make television great again, and Charlie Sheen may not have portrayed Babe Ruth in a film, but he is the owner of 2 of the baseball legend's most valuable items. We'll have the details next in entertainment news.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Belt Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knock in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia. But the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Alec Baldwin is returning to Saturday Night Live next season. The 59-year-old actor says he'll be coming back to the show in the fall, and he'll be reprising his famous Donald Trump impersonation. But he says the blonde wigs and orange bronzer will be at a minimum because he has a very busy schedule ahead. Baldwin has hosted SNL a record 17 times, and his Trump impersonation has become one of his most memorable sketches. This hand-drawn map shows Walt Disney's original idea for Disneyland back in 1953. There it is. It was sold at auction for $708,000 at a Disney memorabilia auction in Los Angeles. It's believed to be the most expensive Disneyland map ever sold. 2 pieces of baseball history will soon be up for grabs thanks to Charlie Sheen. The actor will be auctioning off Babe Ruth's 1927 World Series ring. Look at that. That season, Ruth had one of the greatest years in baseball history. He batted .356 with 60 home runs and 156 RBIs. Also being sold is the original 1919 document that traded the legendary slugger from the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees. That deal, by the way, you may know, became known as the Curse of the Bambino, but that curse was finally lifted in 2004 when Boston finally won its first World Series in 86 years. Sheen says he's kept the items in pretty good shape, but that he's ready to hand them off to another collector. Get this, opening bids for the ring, more than $600,000, and the contract topping $400,000 so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here he's got one of his signed bats, too. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's impressive. Kept it in kind of good shape.
That's what I didn't understand. Maybe he wore it around.
Me?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Oh, goodness.
That would have some stories.
Things are going to be pretty quiet near the coast,
Yeah.
I think. As far as inland areas go, a little more active. And over the next several days, I think we'll see a pattern reversal that'll bring more of those showers toward the coast late in the day. And I know there's going to be lots of celebrations over the weekend. So remember the lightning safety tips.
We will. Thank you, John. Thank you for joining us. Have a great afternoon. We hope to see you again at 5 o'clock.